Welcome to Gripo, a platform designed to make Kubernetes management effortless and intuitive. Upon logging in, you will be presented with a dashboard which provides a comprehensive overview of Kubernetes environment. Here you can quickly see the total number of clusters, the number of active and running clusters, any failed cluster that required attention, clusters currently in provisioning stage. Additionally, on this dashboard, you can monitor the status of running clusters and identify which providers are actively operating within a single streamlined interface. Next, we move to the Cluster Management tab by clicking on All Clusters under the Cluster tab, where you can view a complete list of clusters. This page allows you to clusters categorized by a different providers. Here one thing needs to be mentioned, that you have an option displayed in either list view or a card view depending on your preference. Now let's create a Kubernetes cluster. To begin, you have to click on Create button. You will be presented with a list of providers from which you can select the one you want to use for cluster creation. A key advantage of Gripo is that you can create and manage clusters directly from the platform, eliminating the needs to log into the provider's webpage. For this demonstration, we will quickly create an Azure Kubernetes cluster by clicking on Azure. There are two ways to do this. Basic cluster, a streamlined quick deployment with a minimal configurations options, while the template clusters offers predefined templates allowing you to deploy a cluster with a single click using existing configurations. We will now proceed with the basic cluster setup. First, we provide the cluster name. Next, we need to select the secret to securely interact with the chosen cloud provider. For this, you can select it by a drop-down menu, or you can create by your own. To create a secret, this can be done easily by clicking the plus sign, which allows you to add the secret in just one step. The detailed instructions for creating and managing the secret can be found in our documentation page at docs.gripo.io. You can create by clicking here, and you can choose the cloud provider which you want to make the secret. And for this cluster creation, you have to follow our page, that is docs.gripo.io. Here you can easily navigate the secret section, where step by step guideline is available to create the secret. Now let's proceed with configuring the cluster. Next, we define the region where the cluster will be deployed. Gripo provides the flexibility in selecting regions, allowing you to choose which regions appears on the front end. It restricts cluster deployment to specific regions for your deployment teams. This ensures that clusters are only created in authorized locations, enhancing governance and control. Following this, we will select the resource group where the Azure cluster will be deployed. Then is the number of nodes, giving you the ability to scale the cluster based on your needs. And lastly is the VM type, where you can restrict access to specific node types. For example, if you do not want your teams to select high memory GB nodes, you can control what nodes options are displayed on the front end. Once these configurations are all set, we will click the submit, and the Azure cluster creation process will begin. Once the clusters are running, we can explore their properties and management options. The first one is the status page. The status page provides a complete overview of each cluster, including the cluster name, current state, And the most important is a one-click download option that for kubeconfig file, allowing you to easy access and manage your cluster. Then in the properties page, you will find all relevant configurations details similar to what you would see in Azure portal, ensuring the consistency and ease of access. Then is the event page. The event page logs all events related to the cluster. Here you can view the system generated events that occurred during cluster provisioning, or you can troubleshoot any issues encountered in the process. Then the node pool section, which provides full control over your cluster's workers node. Here you can view current nodes in the cluster, resize the node pool by adding or removing the nodes, click on an individual node to view the detailed properties which are typically difficult to access without the centralized platform like Gripo. Now, by clicking on the Journal tab, you can see the name of the specific node, when it's created, the labels given, also the container, runtime, annotations, etc. By clicking on the pods, you can instantly view all running pods, helping you track workload distribution across nodes. Kubernetes describe command, kubectl. Gripo simplifies Kubernetes troubleshooting by providing an easy to use describe feature. Instead of manually entering long and complex kubectl describe commands, you can retrieve detailed cluster information with just a single click, saving valuable time during debugging and maintenance. With Gripo, Kubernetes cluster management becomes effortless, providing a unified experience across multiple cloud providers. In the events page, you can monitor all Kubernetes events related to a specific node. This provides real-time insights into cluster activities, helping you track the latest updates and troubleshoot any potential issues. From this interface, add node pool. We can add new nodes directly by clicking on it. By specifying the desired name, node size, availability zones, and the information you require to add, and then click submit. This is the process of adding node pool. You can see after submitting the request, the node pool creation process has started. While the node pool is being created, let's explore another powerful feature, scaling. For scale the existing node, we will click on the three dots and navigate the scale node pool. Click on it and here the magic begins. With Gripo, you can scale node pool directly from the platform without needing to log into the provider's portal. Simply adjust the size and the scaling process begins instantly. Here you can see the existing node pool is scaling while the newly created node pool is running. This unified experience allows you to create and scale nodes seamlessly, all within a single platform, eliminating the need to navigate multiple cloud providers' dashboard. Now let's move to the application section. Here you can view all running applications directly from the portal. Next, in the resource section, you can track the number of running nodes, active pods, and other cluster resources. By clicking the pod section, we are directly taken to the pod overview, where we can see all the running pods and their details. Selecting on a specific pod provides you the detailed insight including general container information. Here you can see the name of the pod, when it's created, the status, the label given, and the pod's IP and the node name, etc. By clicking on containers, displays active containers. By clicking on volume, it gives you the information of volume usage and resource allocation. By clicking on describe command, instead of manually executing kubectl describe pod, you can retrieve detailed pod configurations with a single click. Events tab, it gives you the list of all Kubernetes events related to the selected pod and the log section. It enables direct access to pod logs for debugging and analysis. Now let's go back to the node pool section and see the created nodes. See that the node pool creation and scaling process are completed. Both newly created and the scaled nodes are running now. One of the Gripo's powerful feature is the ability to use K9s directly from your browser. This eliminates the need to install K9s locally, making cluster management more accessible in a shared environment where multiple team members can collaborate efficiently. To access K9s, simply click on the Connect tab and click on the K9 button. This will open a terminal directly in your browser. Now we'll see all display nodes. You can see the all display nodes including those we have recently created. This feature provides the centralized access to Kubernetes operations, streamlining workflows and making operations management significantly easier. Gripo also offers a built-in kubectl terminal, allowing you to execute commands such as kubectl get pods to view all running pods and kubectl get nodes to display all active nodes. For this, we again click on the Connect tab and click on the kubectl terminal. Here we will type This eliminates the need for manual Kubernetes configurations as Gripo takes care of everything. Additionally, it enhances the security and access control, ensuring that only authorized users can manage resources. So you can see the nodes here. Beyond K9s and kubectl, Gripo provides a comprehensive Kubernetes dashboard for visualizing and manage cluster resources. Now we will move to the operations section. We'll navigate to the workload section and select the ports tab to see all running ports. Now click on any pod. Here you can see the general information which gives you an overview of specific pod when it's created, the name of the pods, the labels given, current status, etc. Likewise, I explained you earlier that there are more tabs available for which you want to get information like containers, volume, describe command, which gives you the desired kubectl commands, events and logs. The deployment section displays all deployment related details, providing a clear overview of workload distribution. Likewise, you can click on different tabs to get information you required like nodes, daemon set, replica set, stateful sets, etc. Now let's move to the network management. Under the network section, you can access the information about the services, endpoints, and other networking components. Clicking on the services that allows you to retrieve public IP addresses, monitor the network activity, and view service level metrics. Additionally, by clicking on metric server, here the describe feature provides you in-depth network insights, helping you understand service configurations and connectivity patterns. One of the Gripo's key strengths is ability to manage Kubernetes clusters across multiple cloud providers seamlessly. So for this, navigate to the workload section and click on the nodes to view the cluster nodes for Azure. With a simple selection, you can switch to another provider like DigitalOcean or any other, the Linode, and instantly you can access its node details without any additional configurations. For this, you can click on the cluster section tab on the left corner and select the cluster you want to see the nodes. Here you can click and select the desired cluster, and you can switch to the desired cluster and to see the nodes for that desired cluster. Here we have made only one cluster, so you can see only the Azure cluster demo. Similarly, selecting a Linode cluster will present you with its pods and nodes, demonstrating Gripo's unified experience across multiple providers. This capability eliminates the hassle of logging into different cloud providers' dashboard and provides centralized visibility over all your clusters. Now move to the events monitoring under the operations. The event section provides the real-time event logs related to your clusters. Unlike the manual process of fetching events via kubectl, Gripo simplifies this with instant access to the latest Kubernetes events. Gripo integrates a full Helm dashboard, making application deployment effortless. For this, click on the Helm apps under the applications. For adding the Helm repositories, go to the repository section and click on Add Package. Enter the details such as package name, package URL, cluster name, and provider name. Here we don't need to add repository because we have already added it. So this was just to show you that you can add the more repositories you want. So back to the catalog page. Now let's deploy Elasticsearch on Azure cluster. First, select the application and version from the available Helm catalog. You can search it, the specific app via search bar. So you can directly search the specific app without wasting time. Now click on Install button. Here you can modify the Helm YAML file if needed or proceed with the default settings. Fill up the app name, the version obviously, and click Deploy. Gripo will handle the rest. Once deployed, the Deployed tab shows the application's deployed values. The Manifest tab provides details of all deployed resources. The value diff, you can also click on the value define on the value diff, where you can see all the application change history list and the stuff. Resources, you can also click and look at the resource related the application. Furthermore, you can explore all resources associated with the application. For instance, in the case of Elasticsearch, you can see the deployed services and stateful sets. The platform offers a clear breakdown of which stateful sets have been deployed, ensuring seamless monitoring and management of your infrastructure. The Events tab filters Kubernetes events, specially for this application, eliminating the need to search manually. You can also open the terminal in K9s to monitor the application's installation progress. In K9s, you can see the Elasticsearch is currently being installed and somewhere is installing. This demonstrates how effortlessly you can deploy applications with just a few clicks directly onto your providers. Update tab on Web Connect terminal. Additionally, the application can be updated seamlessly using YAML file or directly within the same interface, ensuring the flexibility and ease of management. Here, another feature of Gripo is that Gripo allows users to import existing Kubernetes cluster both for cloud-based and on-premises. For importing any cluster, go to the cluster's main page and click on the Import Cluster tab. There are two ways to import cluster, either importing a cloud-based cluster or importing on-premises cluster using their kubeconfig file. In this demo, we will import one of the Azure cluster which already provisioned in Azure portal. As you can see in the Azure portal, there is already one cluster is available by the name of import cluster. So we will import this cluster into our Gripo portal. Here you can see there is no cluster available by the name of import cluster. So we will import the cluster from the Azure portal into our Gripo portal. For importing a cloud-based cluster, choose a secret used for authentication. Select the cloud provider, AWS, Azure, Linode, Google Cloud or DigitalOcean. Next, we need to select the secret. Select the resource group and proceed. Pick the cluster to import and complete the process. Importing an on-premises cluster. Once imported, these clusters behave identically to provisioned cluster with full visibility and management capabilities. Now, by selecting the import cluster, you can view resources, applications and events just like a regular cluster. Ensure centralized management across all environments, whether cloud-based or on-premises. Gripo provides a seamless Kubernetes management experience, enabling multi-cloud clusters, visibility without additional configurations, easy event tracking without kubectl, Helm-based applications, deployment with minimal effort, cluster import functionality for both cloud-based and on-premises environments. With all these features at your fingertips, Kubernetes management has never been easier.